Hi, it's Patsy. So it's nearly the end of May, so it's time to come and do my roundup of this month of what I've been enjoying working with. It's been a funny old month. It's gone quite quick really. My birthday month, but didn't really celebrate that. When you haven't been able to see your family, you know, your children, grandchildren, it's not much to celebrate. And I haven't seen any of them since the beginning of March, so my birthday sort of come and went. It sort of wasn't really something that really interested me this year. Doesn't many years now, but this year in particular. And it's been a month where I really haven't had much get up and go in me. I've just kind of, especially at the beginning of the month, it was just kind of letting the month go by, not really involved in getting anything done and what have you. Things have got a bit better the last couple of weeks, and I am starting to feel like I can get on and do things. My eyes don't help because that kind of stops me from doing a lot of things. But I have been getting some cards out and started working with cards and what have you again. So I've come on to show you what I have been working, what I've been enjoying working with. I've had quite a lot of decks this month because it was my birthday month, which I have shown all of them except one, and I might do that tomorrow. I'm not sure what I think of that yet, and I've only really flicked through it once, so I'm not sure. But I'll show that probably tomorrow or later on because I'm decorating at the minute as well. The weather has been gorgeous, so I've been going to the beach as well. And I've had my first whippy ice cream of the season because they're reopened. So I've had my strawberry whippy ice cream, which was yummy. But yeah, so we'll go with the books first that I got, I think. I got 2 books this month. I mean, I also had those 2 past licenses I showed earlier. I'm not sure if they'd come at the end of April or beginning of May, so I haven't included them, but I have shown them anyway. But I did get another past life book because people in my channel will know I'm fascinated with past life. And this one, How to Uncover Your Past Lives by Ted Andrews. This is an old book. It wasn't very expensive off Amazon. And I saw Grace over at her channel, Mary Grace over at her channel, showing this and said how good she found it. So I thought I'd give it a try. Haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I only come a couple of days ago. But I've had a flip through and it looks like it's going to be really interesting. So that's one book that I've got. And the other one is this one, The Buckland's Domino Divination, Fortune Telling with Dominoes and the Game of Dominoes. I got my dominoes a couple of weeks ago and I was waiting for the book to come. The book's now come. So I'm really looking forward in sort of June to get into grips with this book and domino divination, because I love all kinds of divination, as most people know. I love my using charms as well as the witches' runes and all kinds of different card systems. So it'd be interesting to give this one a go. So that is the 2 books that I've got. The other thing that I've loved in May, what I got, is the pendulum. I have shown this one. I showed it when I was reviewing a deck. But I love this pendulum. It's very talkative and I tend to use this an awful lot. I've never really been one for pendulums, but this one I really, really like and I'm using it all the time. So that is something that I've really enjoyed this month, is working with that pendulum. That's never far away from me, that. Now deck-wise, I'll go with this one first. This one, I spoke about this in the past, the Ancestral Path Tarot, and I've always loved this tarot, but it's just too big to really use, or I find it so. I mean, other people might disagree, but I don't like big cards. I struggle with big cards. So what I've done is I have some stands on my altar and I've got some in my kitchen too, and I pull one of these a day and leave it on the altar on the stand, and it makes lovely cards for that reason, you know, because they are so big. They look lovely stood on there. So I'm getting to use them, which is good, because I don't like having decks I'm not using. So I'm now able to use this with the stands, and I'm pulling one a day, and I have done for the last couple of weeks, and I'm really loving it. I mean, the imagery on this deck is gorgeous, and I've never had a problem with the imagery in that. It's just always been the size of them. So this is one that I've been using this month, and I've really enjoyed being able to use that because, like I said, it's a gorgeous deck. Still couldn't use it for spreads and that because it is too big, but at least I can get use out of it by standing it on its stand for my day card of the day. So that is the first one. The other tarot that I've been using a lot is one that I got a couple of weeks ago, pretty recently, but this is one that I couldn't put down when I first got it, and I'm still using it a lot. Still one that I'm going and pulling off, and it's the Romantic Tarot. This one, Romantic Tarot, with the backs. I have done a walkthrough of this if you're interested, but this deck really talks to me. I love this deck. It is based on the RWS, but there is a lot of imagery that doesn't follow what you would expect in an RWS, but I love it, and I've been using this, been using it for doing readings for other people as well as myself, and I'm really enjoying that. And I was using that all the time until this one come, and now I can't put this one down. Tarot of the 78 Doors. And this deck talks to me. Has done from the first time I saw the images online, and I hadn't seen all of them when I ordered it. And again, it's RWS, but it takes its own take on it, and it is an Escarabaeo, so you have got there in the corners, but it doesn't bother me. But this deck talks to me. I've never had a deck that talks to me as much except the Tarot of the Hidden Realms, but this one really talks to me a lot. It's the way I would read, and I just adore it. So that is the deck that I'm using more often than any at the minute, and I'm really enjoying working with. So that is Tarot of the 78 Doors, and that one has come a firm favourite for me. So next to show you is the Past Life deck. I don't know if you remember me showing you this about a month ago, I think it was, and I said at the time there was some cards in there I wasn't sure how they would sort of, that's just the back, so they're self-published, how these would work. I love them. I absolutely love this deck. I didn't think that I would, and I didn't think it would be much good for spreads, and I was just to start using them as 3 cards, but I actually used these on a spread, and I was blown away by these cards. They really surprised me, So this is a deck that I've really enjoyed working with when I'm doing my past life work. So that is the John Richardson's Past Lives Revealed deck. Like I said, it is self-published and just comes in that little bit box, but I've really enjoyed working with that. So the 2 oracles that I've worked with this month, the first one is an old favourite. I haven't used this for a while, and it's the Oracle of Visions by Piero Marchetti, and I love this deck. I love his tarot as well, the one that I've got, I can't think what it's called, but it's got the same backs as this. I can't remember what it's called, but I do like it. But this oracle is lovely, and again, I love this one because even though it has got this book here, what goes into depth, what the card meaning is, and it's got no words or anything from there, and that's why I love it, because I can just pull a card and that card will have a different meaning whatever day I'm pulling it and whatever's going on in my life, it will have some bearing on that without having a set meaning. You just so much in these cards that you can look into and let your intuition tell you what the message is, and that's how I use this card. So this, I've been picking one of these a day, or drawing one of these a day I should say, and leaving that on one of my stands, and I'm really getting joy out of using these again because I haven't used them for quite a while, and I'm loving working with them again. So that is the Oracle of Visions, and that's a lovely deck. It's a US Games one, so the cardstock is really lovely as well. And finally, the other one that I've been using is a new one that I bought a little while ago, a few weeks back, the Mystical Healing Reading Cards by Ina Sigel. And I'm loving this deck. I'm really enjoying this deck. That's the backs of them. I have got a walkthrough if you're interested in this. You have got the number of the card and what have you at the bottom there as well. Look, that one goes that way. That's the only one that goes that way. I'm not sure why, but it does. But this deck is, I use the book with this, and I do read what the message is from the book. And that's where I think this book, is really, really, really good, what is written in the book. Which I don't always do with other cards. I like to get the message just by looking like the other card, or from, you know, the little thing there. And some days, if my eyes aren't too good, I'll just take it from the image and the word that I've got. But on other days where I am able to read okay, then I will read the book. And to give you an example, let me trying to find the one that I got for yesterday, I think it was. And it really hit home. So yesterday I pulled this one, Awaken Your Vulnerability. So I had to read in the book to see what it was. And I'll read some of it to you. This is card 3, so it's quite easy to go to. You just go to 3 and here we go. So it says, to be vulnerable with your feelings requires profound courage and a decision to break the hard shell of protection that keeps you separated, isolated and afraid of others. Vulnerability connects you to the most hidden aspects of your soul. In this exploration, you have the possibility of discovering your intimate, delicate, creative, surprising aspects. This may require you to develop more understanding and compassion for yourself and your life's journey, whilst at the same time moving past the pain of rejection or abuse you may have experienced and which has caused you to shut down. Now, that really shook me. I'm not going into personal stuff with myself, you know, that's not what this channel's for, but it hit home. And I know that this is something that I have done all my adult life. I've kind of not allowed anybody to get too close. And I don't get too close, even to my own children in some respects. And there's lots of issues, and I've known that there for a long time, and it's something that I've been trying to work on, but it's one of those things that's not the easiest thing to work on. So when I read that, it was like, whoa, it is time to really work on this now. And it goes on to say, whilst it's important to keep certain people at a distance, there are others who are already in or about to come into your life. These people can hold the space for you to step into a soft, honest, gentle exploration of your heart melody. If you refuse and keep suppressing your feelings, you will become exhausted, numb, frustrated and cold. It's time to warm your heart and start to be more in touch with what's happening inside your body. What pain are you holding in? And yeah, so this is the kind of message you get from these cards, and I'm just loving this deck. It's a very healing deck. So that's the Mystical Healing Reading cards, and like I said, it's one that I'm really enjoying. So this is what I've been working with so far this month. I'm getting particular joy out of my pendulum. I'm even thinking about getting my pendulum board out. I'm getting a lot of joy out of this one, the past life ones, and this. I think this is, people call them soul decks. I think this must be my soul deck, because I just pull a card and I know what its message is without even looking whether it's the 8 of Swords or the 9 of Clubs, you know, the 9 of Cups or whatever. The images on this deck just really, really speak to me, and it's found a place in, you know, straight away. As soon as I looked at them images the first time I opened this box, it was like, yeah, this is my deck. I love it. So there we go. So that is my May update of what I've been working with, and for next month I don't know, because I never set myself any goals of what I'm going to work with. I just work with what I'm feeling at the time. I know this one will definitely be there, and I know this one will definitely be in there as I explore past lives, because that is something that I spend more and more time doing, and I know this one will, because I'm really enjoying working with that. And that kind of makes me think whether I need all these decks that I have in my house, because I have way too many decks. Most of them are not getting used. Most of them I'm not even that keen on, unless I'm just using them for pulling one a day or some things occasionally. And I think it's time that I kind of cut down on the amount of decks I've got. I've got so many oracles, so many tarots that I never use, rarely use. And I think it's time that to get more out of decks like this one that I really, really enjoy. I need to kind of cool my buying habits and get rid of some of my decks that I have. The latest one that I've got, I'm not sure about. I had it on pre-order and it eventually came, and I'm not sure about it now. It's come. I've kind of had a look through, and I don't know if it's for me, but if it's not, that will be going up as a prize. I'm getting close to 600 subscribers, which is really exciting, and once I reach that 600, I just passed it, then I will be giving one of my decks away that I've not used, and what's like new or what have you, and that could well be the one that I give away, because like I say, I'm not sure it's for me. So you'll have to keep an eye out, and once we get past that 600, I can't believe that's 600. It doesn't seem 2 minutes ago I was on 300 and something and really struggling to get past it. So I'm really, really grateful to everybody who's subscribing to my channel, stayed subscribed to my channel, and take time to watch and, you know, reply to me, because that's why I'm here. It's lovely. So I've rambled on enough. I've got some decorating to get on with. So I better say goodbye, get the paintbrush out, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.